on CTV News at 5.
I think a lot of people here are using it as a form of escape.
Marijuana on the mind. A 10-year study connects cannabis to declining mental health.
The customers are great. I often hear stories about how they've been coming since they were little kids.
Spectacular subs. The local eatery celebrates half a century of fresh fast food.
The idea was presented to us and we said, absolutely.
And pinball touchdown. Mike Clemens kicks off Black History Month with a whirlwind visit to Halifax.
Increasing cloudiness tonight with areas of light snow and flurries expected tomorrow.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Pano-Palace. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, marijuana on the mind. A new study finds a concerning connection between cannabis use and mental health, especially for young women. As CTV's Emma Convey reports, while some use the substance to improve their mood, experts warn it can do the opposite. Emma.
Hi, Maria. We know that mental health among teens is a growing problem, but a recent study out of Ontario found that psychological distress for these young adults has nearly tripled in just a decade, and research links that to cannabis use.
Students face a number of stressors, from academic pressure to finances. Experts say mental health issues are only worsening.
We found that psychological distress almost tripled. So it went from about 10% to 27%, and that's for Ontario.
McMaster University conducted a 10-year study to see if there was a correlation between teens' mental health and cannabis use. They found consumption was a factor, especially over time.
It's possible that cannabis potency that's increasing is kind of explaining why that relationship is getting stronger over time. But it's also possible that teens are kind of using cannabis to cope with their mental health problems.
Researcher Andre McDonald says they found 18% of teens reported using cannabis, and a significant amount use it to cope with stress, especially girls.
Those who use 40 or more times in the past year, 96% of them reported using cannabis to cope with their mental health problems.
I think a lot of people here are using it as a form of escape from the stress that university and, young adulthood, stuff like that brings.
But according to these experts, there is no evidence cannabis improves mental health.
The long-term daily or near daily use, which is often what we're seeing, it can also negatively impact the brain's dopamine system. And that gives people the feelings of pleasures and joy and things like that. So this can make young adults feel fatigued, low in mood, unmotivated.
The accessibility of it and number of consumption options makes it easier for teens to get it.
The people I'm surrounded with, it's constantly in conversation, especially now that we're of age where we can buy it ourselves.
Over the last 10 to 15 years, the THC, the amounts of THC in cannabis has really increasingly grown. And now that cannabis use is legalized, we also see an increase in things like edibles.
Helen Ludy advises young adults to be careful of any drug use. She adds that cannabis has been linked to both temporary and long-term psychosis, as well as schizophrenia. And look out for signs that your use could be getting out of control, like craving it or increased tolerance. Maria.
Thank you, Emma. Good information tonight. CTV's Emma Convey for us in the news center. All right, turning our attention to Todd Battis now, who's standing by with a look at the day's headlines. Hi, Todd.
Hi there, Maria. People in the town of Truro are rallying behind the family of a woman who died after being hit by that snowplow yesterday. Tina Kleik was on her way to work at Sobeys when she was struck and killed. Police say weather conditions were a factor. Staff and Sobeys customers say they are devastated, and we will hear from them tonight. It's a situation many provinces are struggling with, large deficits and an uncertain economic outlook. Well, New Brunswick is looking for ways to combat it, including vehicle tolls, cuts to the civil service, even selling government assets. CTV's Laura Brown has the list of options in your newscast. Well, Irish eyes will not be smiling at this. For the second year in a row, there will be no St. Patrick's Day parade in Halifax. What had been a yearly tradition is now struggling to find its place back on the streets of the region's largest city. And tonight at 6, we'll find out why it's not happening and what the future holds. Right now, let's take a look at the immediate future when it comes to the weather. Anyway, Kayla Mitchell.
Yeah, not a bad early February evening if people are headed outside. Temperatures are mostly in the range of around -3 to 0, which of course is chilly, but not overly cold for this time of the year. There's actually a few communities that are just on the plus side of the scale, including Doketown in New Brunswick near 1 degree, Miramichi towards the northeast New Brunswick sitting at 2 degrees right now. And there's a few communities in the southwest of Nova Scotia where temperatures at this hour are around +1, +2. Taking a look at the winds, they're light, they're variable in direction around the region. They're a little bit breezier in Cape Breton, and they're mostly out of the west and northwest, being sustained between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour, though no gusts to show you at this hour. As we take a look at things on radar and satellite, we've had a fair amount of cloud cover throughout the day around Prince Edward Island and northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia. That cloud cover breaking up a little bit in the southwest of Nova Scotia. The sunniest conditions in general today for the maritime region were the province, or was in the province of New Brunswick. Now, for this evening and tonight, those areas that are cloudy are going to remain mostly cloudy, and those areas that were relatively cloud-free today will see cloud cover increase, and there will be a chance of a few flurries, maybe a little bit of patchy freezing drizzle tonight as well. The chances of freezing drizzle highest around Prince Edward Island, the north and east of Nova Scotia. Then coming up for tomorrow, we do have an area with generally some flurries, but also a little bit of light snow. It's going to be making its way through the northeastern United States and towards the Maritimes. That could accumulate in a couple of areas. We will go through that in detail when I'm back a little bit later on. Maria.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Kaylin. Right now, though, time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. Stay with us, though. Still ahead, find out how to win a $2,500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers just in time for Valentine's Day. We also have these stories.
I'm Ryan McDonald in New Waterford, Nova Scotia, where today a walk down memory lane was also one down the Coal Town Road. Miners and their memories. The story is coming up.
I'm Vanessa Wright in Halifax, where American-Canadian sports executive and former running back Pinball Clemens is kicking off African Heritage Month right here in Nova Scotia. I'll tell you all about it coming up next on CTV News at 5.
Celebrate Valentine's Day, February 14th with care at the Feeling the Love Gala. Support Hospice Halifax while enjoying a gourmet dinner, dessert buffet, dance, and more. For tickets, visit hospicehalifax.ca/FTL.
Welcome back. CTV and Charm Diamond Centers want to help you charm your Valentine. With Valentine's Day just around the corner, you could win a $2,500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers to help you express your love for that special someone. Pop the question with a stunning diamond, dazzle them with sapphire earrings, or present the perfect pendant to wear close to their heart. All you have to do to enter is go to ctvatlantic.ca or click on the QR code on your screen right now. We'll announce the winner on Friday, February 13th. Good luck, everybody. So, Kaiser Sub and Sandwich Shop in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia opened way back in 1976 and is a favorite in the community for its fresh food and friendly service. CTV's Mike Lamb now gives us a tour of the tiny takeout as they approach a big milestone.
We're at Kaiser Subs. Very fortunately, we're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary next Thursday. It started in '76. It was a growing community. There were 5 places to eat. We were the 5th when the store was opened up. My wife, of course, helped out a small business that the whole family pitches in. Both daughters. It's a great community to live in, for one thing, and also to do business in.
Thank you. We're very, very tiny. It's like 500 and something square feet, but we maneuver around. We call it the Kaiser Shuffle. So we've all learned to kind of maneuver in the space. The cold cut is the most popular and I guess what we're known for, but we have lots of other options. We slice all of our meats here and also our veggies every day. We like to make it as fresh as possible.
They're the best. Everything is fresh.
I just like the freshness and the different variety.
The customers are great and we love hearing stories from them. I often hear stories about how they've been coming since they were little kids, or they were the first customers here in the 70s.
Shelley.
So it's that kind of stories that kind of keep us motivated and keep going.
I just kind of really get overwhelmed with how fortunate we've been to be standing here 50 years later. It's just, I'm really, really thankful for it. It's been wonderful.
Talking about being fortunate, you got to be good to be lucky, though.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
for
what
sure.
a reputation you have, and congratulations, 50 years in the food industry. That is impressive. By the way, this Thursday is the official 50-year anniversary, so stop by then for deals on your favorite sub to celebrate the
even better.
major milestone. Half a century in business. Way to go, Kaisers. To many more.
I love a good sub sandwich. To me,
Yeah.
it's like an all-weather, all-season
Oh,
type.
yeah.
You have in the wintertime, the fall, the summer, anytime, really. Well, we had some sunshine around parts of the region for today. It was a little bit chilly, but nothing too unusual for February. And generally, it was a good day for some skating on the picturesque frozen Lily Lake here in St. John. I'm going to have more on the weather forecast coming up next.
Welcome back. Kaylin Mitchell joins us once again. Kaylin, I have to say, I was outside just for a little while today, and it didn't feel quite as cold as we've become accustomed to the last little bit here.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, temperatures aren't too far off of averages for February, but you got to remember through the last part of January, we were contending with temperatures that were, well, and a lot of times a fair bit below average. And yeah, I know these snowy systems are a little bit tough to deal with as they're occurring and immediately following, but you know, a day or two after that, when we've got some generally fair weather conditions, it can be pretty. And we're looking out here at a city. This is near Penhorn Lake in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, as we take a look at our sunrise and sunset times. All right, taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure is sort of in between high and low pressure at the moment. There are a couple weaker low pressure systems and a series of weather fronts in between them sitting off towards the west of us. And we do have parts of the Maritimes that are going to be getting back into some flurries and some periods of what will be mostly a lighter snowfall for tomorrow, though there is a chance that some of that snow could become a little bit burstier, maybe some very brief, almost snow squall-like conditions. We'll take a look at that in the timeline in a moment. Nothing showing up here, though, on radar as we're moving into the first part of this evening. And for tonight, it's mostly either going to be cloudy or with some increasing cloudiness. There will be a low chance of some isolated flurries and a little bit of patchy freezing drizzle tonight. The chance of freezing drizzle is going to be highest for Prince Edward Island and parts of the north and east of Nova Scotia. The grays here as we move towards midnight, indicating that cloud cover increasing for the region. And then for tomorrow, some of the areas that could get into brief periods of, you know, slightly burstier snow. That includes the southwest of Nova Scotia beginning early in the morning. This is around the time frame of around 7 to 9. And you can see that there's sort of this band of snow just coming into parts of Shelburne, Yarmouth, and Digby counties, and maybe even a couple flurries drifting through St. John. Now, moving from the morning into the afternoon, that band of snow is going to be working its way towards the northeast. So by around the mid to late afternoon hours, it could be showing up in around the Halifax area, back towards parts of the Annapolis Valley, including Kentville and Wolfville. And then moving into the evening, that band of snow sets up in an area stretching from Digby County up to the Annapolis Valley, in through parts of Cumberland and Colchester counties, that Minus Basin area. Still some flurries in and around Halifax, and then extending up towards the eastern shore. Moving through the rest of Wednesday night, what's left of that snow is going to be exiting off towards the east. Now, there is some potential for some accumulation in it, and mostly for the west of Nova Scotia. Amounts of around 1 to 5 centimeters in that snow, maybe a little bit more than that. Some of the higher terrain surrounding the Annapolis Valley, some of the hills, some of the more mountainous areas could pick up some snowfall amounts between around 5 and 8 centimeters. Other parts of the Maritimes tomorrow, including New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island, a lower chance of some flurries throughout the day. Not much accumulation expected there. Winds in the forecast for tomorrow, they're going to be a little bit variable in direction around the Maritimes, but relatively light. In most cases, sustained between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. There may be a few gusts around coastal areas of the southwest of New Brunswick and the southwest of Nova Scotia, up between 30 and 40. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for the region in New Brunswick. Colder temperatures around the north and west of the province. Some lows between minus 15 and minus 20. For Moncton, down to around minus 8. St. John and Grand Manan near minus 9. Minus 6 for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island for tonight. And for Nova Scotia, most of the low temperatures between minus 3 and minus 7. Here's the high temperatures for Wednesday, and across New Brunswick in the range around minus 1 to minus 6. Cloudy with sunny breaks, about a 30–40% chance of a flurry for most communities. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Few flurries expected, high temperatures of around -1. And in Nova Scotia, the high temperatures will mostly be in the range of around -1 to +2. Remember, there will be that band of snow that starts in the southwest of the province in the morning and then makes its way up through western and central areas of Nova Scotia as we head through Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. Let's take a look at our weather watch here for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 7-year-old Isabella Matheson from St. John, New Brunswick. Isabella has sent us a drawing of a sailboat out on a fair weather day. Weather watchers can come in to CTV Weather Watchers. P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. So for the first time in years, a reunion for Cape Breton coal miners was held today in one of the island's many former mining towns. As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, attendees packed the room to reminisce about days gone by.
The days when coal was king in Cape Breton may be long gone, but today some of the men who worked underground came together to remember those bygone times.
I've seen guys here that I haven't seen in over 20 years.
It had been in the works for a while, but this afternoon a reunion for ex-coal miners was held at the former mining town of New Waterford. Organizers say just shy of 90 men showed up to reminisce.
Funny stories of things that happened underground, or maybe things that weren't so funny that happened underground that people worked through, found a solution for.
You know, you got to realize that the mines closed here 26 years ago, and a lot of these guys haven't seen their buddies since 26 years.
When the Prince Mine closed back in 2001, it was the end of an era that stretched back generations.
Let's see, at the end of the industry here in Cape Breton, you know, our heritage is gone, and that's it. It's all over. Case closed.
In more recent years, coal was produced again at the Donkin mine, but that too has sat idle for some time now. Some at today's reunion feel that mining here on the island may be over for good.
They're talking now about doing away with coal-fired power plants. I don't see it happening, to be honest with you.
Today was also special for the reunion's organizers, who felt it important to get these men back together while they still could.
The look in their eyes, just to see their fellow buddies, it's pretty amazing.
Today's reunion was enough of a success that another one has already been planned for next month. And though organizers didn't intend it this way, it falls on a somber anniversary in Cape Breton's coal mining history.
Especially that it's going to be on the anniversary of the explosion that took place in 26 Colliery. I actually worked in 26 Colliery, and I worked the night of the explosion, so it's actually very fitting to have the social on that particular day.
And every miner that was here today is taking another one with them, the next one on February 24th.
A walk down the Coal Town Road and down memory lane. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, New Waterford.
Thank you, Ryan. Wonderful turnout, by the way. My goodness. All right, time for our final break here on CTV News at 5. Before we go there, our African Heritage Month music spotlight continues with Keontae Beals. The North Preston entertainer and author uses his creativity to inspire, educate, and connect, especially with young people, both on stage and in schools. Here is a taste of his song, King, as we head to break.
It doesn't matter what your skin color, it only matters what's within, brother. Meanwhile, we're out to kill each other. Police brutality for all of us. And meanwhile, we're still told you are king.
Move! Mornings with Aaron and Peter.
Hey, we are live from Beaches, Turks and Caicos for Password to Paradise.
We have 19 more trips left to give away, and it could be your name we call out tomorrow.
So tonight and tomorrow right here on CTV News at 5, charm your Valentine. Find out how to win a $2,500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers to help express your love for that special someone. A little charm goes a long way right here on CTV News at 5. And of course, you can charm your sweetheart, or you can charm yourself, whomever you want to charm. There you go. All right, on to our final story of the evening now. Halifax opened its doors to Michael Pinball Clemens today. As CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us, the former running back chartered his foundation to Nova Scotia to learn more about Black history here and make a special donation.
community. That includes
Before today, Canadian-American icon Michael Pinball Clemens didn't have many ties to Nova Scotia, but on a mission to explore Black history, the sports executive and former football star found himself in the city coated with it.
It is a piece of our culture that is known but unknown. Right? We are familiar with it, but the details are often lost, and so with that, that's something that we hope to begin the journey today.
He, alongside members of his Pinball Foundation, chartered from Toronto to Halifax Tuesday, making stops at Pier 21, Canada's National Museum of Immigration, and later a tour of the historic Africville site.
It's something that we've always had a passion for. We've always wanted to come out and visit Africville and take that whole experience in.
Originally from Florida, Clemens and his wife Diane are now based in Oakville, Ontario. This Black History Month, a desire to know more about African Nova Scotian history.
We're hoping to go back to Toronto to just share everything that we've learned here in Africville, to spread the word and to get people to come and see how beautiful it is here. So this trip for me is more than just, a trip. They're roots and they're deep.
After their tour around Africville, the Clemens will head back to Toronto, but not before making a sealed commitment to the historic African Nova Scotian community. The Pinball Foundation announcing a $250,000 donation. The proceeds will go to the Africville community and help students of Africville descendants attend a post-secondary school of their choosing.
The fact that they saw the Africville Museum and the Africville community as an important piece to invest in is so extraordinary. Their influence to bring other people here to hear the story as well and to see what's going on in Nova Scotia. We are just so thrilled. Like, I could hardly sleep last night.
Though his foundation and humanitarian efforts are highly regarded, Clemens is clear it's not about him.
Life is not an I story, it's a we story, and that's really what we want to communicate today, is that we're really excited to be here.
A message they hope to leave with Nova Scotians until they meet again. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Vanessa, and what an outstanding contribution. Thanks for watching, everyone.